Where we're talking about Jackson Chourio right now is much of the same of what we were talking about with Ronald Acuña Jr. We're going to be talking about one of the best, if not the best player in baseball.
He's one of the youngest big leaguers in the sport, Jackson Chourio with the Milwaukee Brewers.
He's the guy, like on whatever team he's on.
He's got all the intangibles.
It's what we call a supermarket. Got everything you need.
He checks all the boxes that you want in a prospect, and he's got a lot of natural ability to play this game.
What do Ronald Acuña Jr., Juan Soto, and Fernando Tatis Jr. have in common? They were all once young prospects with immense potential. But a new name belongs on that list. Jackson Chourio. At just 19 years old, he was drawing comparisons to the game's biggest stars. So who is this phenom kid? And why is he being hailed as the next Ronald Acuña Jr.? Let's turn back the clock, shall we? To March 11th, 2004. Born in Maracaibo, Venezuela, he grew up on the same baseball diamonds that produced stars like Miguel Cabrera and Jose Altuve. The Brewers saw his potential early on. They signed him as an international free agent in 2021 for $1.8 million. He was number 18 on the top 30 list of international prospects during that signing period. But here's where Chourio's story takes an unprecedented turn. Before even playing a single game in the majors, the Milwaukee Brewers inked him to a record-breaking 8-year, $82 million contract extension. A massive gamble on a player who has yet to prove himself at the highest level. Could Jackson Chourio really be the next face of the MLB? Really be the next Ronald Acuña Jr.? The Brewers certainly think so, and the baseball world is watching to see if this young phenom can live up to the hype.
Chourio, deep right center. Back it goes and gone! First big league homer for Jackson Chourio.
Like I said, Jackson Chourio grew up in the hometown of Maracaibo, Venezuela, a city known for producing some of the biggest names in baseball. He was immersed in the game from a young age, and his father, a former baseball player himself, recognized his son's talent early on and became his first coach and mentor. In this town, baseball diamonds are as common as playgrounds, and young boys dream of following in the footsteps of their heroes like Miguel Cabrera and Jose Altuve. And for Chourio, that dream was no different. He spent countless hours honing his skills, playing pickup games with kids much older than him. But his natural athleticism set him apart from his peers, and his talent could not be denied. Chourio caught the attention of scouts at a young age, and by the time he was 14, he was already playing in international tournaments. His performance already solidified what those close to him already knew. Jackson Chourio was a special player with a bright future ahead of him. And in 2021, at just 17 years old, Chourio made the decision to leave his family and his home country to pursue baseball in the United States. And it didn't take long for him to make his mark. In his first professional season in 2021, at just 17 years old, he slashed an impressive 296, 386, 447 with 5 home runs and 25 RBIs in 45 games in the Dominican Summer League. Numbers that compare favorably with Juan Soto's 5 home runs and 32 RBIs at the same age. But it was in 2022 that he truly burst onto the scene. Starting the year in Single A with the Carolina Mudcats, Chourio put up some big numbers. He hit .324 with 23 doubles, 12 home runs, and 10 stolen bases, earning him the Carolina League MVP award. Numbers strikingly similar to Ronald Acuña's .311 average at the same age in Single A. His performance was so dominant that he quickly earned a promotion to High A, where he continued to rake, hitting .252 with 8 more home runs. And by the end of the 2022 season, Chourio's stats were eye-popping. Across 3 levels of the minors, he hit .288, .342, .538 with 20 home runs, 75 RBIs, and 16 stolen bases. Those numbers are reminiscent of what other young stars like Acuña Jr., Tatis Jr., Julio Rodriguez were all doing at the similar age. This means Jackson Chourio's minor league stats put him in an elite company. Batting average similar to Ronald Acuña, on-base percentage and power mirroring Juan Soto, and his overall offensive output comparable to Fernando Tatis Jr. at the same age. His strikeout rate was higher, but you could see that the raw talent was there. But it wasn't just his success on the offensive side. He also showcased his defensive skills, earning a minor league baseball Gold Glove Award in 2022 for his stellar play in the outfield. Scouts loved his athleticism, his strong arm, and his ability to cover ground in the gaps. But perhaps the most impressive feat of Chourio in his 2022 campaign was his age. He was just 18 years old, making him the youngest player in AA, facing off against players who are often 3 to 4 years older than him. And yet, he held his own, proving that his talent was truly special. This meteoric rise through the minors had the baseball world buzzing. Comparisons to Acuña, Tatis, starting to feel less like hyperbole and more like realistic projections. But even with all the hype and the accolades, Chourio remained grounded. In interviews, he spoke humbly about his goals, his desire to keep improving. He credited his family, particularly his father, for instilling in him a strong work ethic and a love for the game. As Chourio entered the 2023 season, expectations were sky high, and once again, he delivered. In 128 games, split between mostly AA and some AAA, he hit .282 with 22 home runs, 91 RBIs, and an astonishing 44 stolen bases. The Brewers knew they had a generational talent on their hands, and they were about to make a move that would shock the baseball world and signal their belief in Chourio's potential. The Brewers' gamble on Jackson Chourio is unlike anything we've seen before in Major League Baseball. A small market team not known for giving out large contracts. In December 2023, Milwaukee inked the 19-year-old phenom to a staggering 8-year, $82 million contract extension, with a couple club options that could push the total value to over $140 million. It's the largest deal ever given to a player with 0 MLB service time, surpassing the previous record set by Luis Robert Jr.'s $50 million deal with the White Sox in 2020. The magnitude of this contract is a clear signal of the Brewers' unwavering belief in Chourio's potential. It's a move that could define the franchise for the next decade and beyond. But again, a small market team also comes with significant risk. Chourio, for all his talent, all his promise, had yet to take a single swing in the big leagues. There are no guarantees in baseball, and the history of the sport is littered with cautionary tales of highly touted prospects who never quite lived up to the hype. So why were the Brewers willing to take such a gamble? According to GM Matt Arnold, it's because Chourio is a once-in-a-generation talent. Quote, "We believe Jackson has the potential to be a franchise-changing player," Arnold said in a press conference following the signing. His tools, his makeup, his work ethic, it's all off the charts. We feel confident that he's going to be a cornerstone of this organization for a long time to come. And for Chourio, the contract represents a life-changing sum of money and a validation of all the hard work he'd put in to get to this point. But it also came with increased scrutiny and pressure to perform. The eyes of the baseball world will be on him throughout the rest of the season, and the weight of expectations are already heavy. Through 46 games played and 152 at-bats, Chourio's batting .211 with 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, and just a .587 OPS, striking out 45 times compared to walking just 10. But let's not forget, the kid is 20 years old and doing this at the major league level. So the question remains, can he live up to the hype? Can he handle the spotlight? Only time will tell, but the Brewers are betting big that Chourio is the real deal. They put their money where their mouth is, and now it's the young phenom's time to prove that he is the next Ronald Acuña Jr. With a sweet swing, electric speed, and a magnetic personality, he's got all the tools to captivate fans and dominate on the field. Check out more videos below. We'll see you later.